Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Cosmo Muse Tarot. And today we are doing a pick a card reading centered around a message that you need to hear right now. So something that would be helpful or advantageous to hear right now, or even just, we'll just see what comes up in the messages. I'm leaving it a little bit open. So for some of you, it may just be like confirmation of something. And for some of you, it may be some helpful insight into something going on right now. But something that is sort of time sensitive, that whenever you're drawn to this reading, it's like a message coming to help you with something in your life at the moment. Okay, so we've got 3 piles to choose from. Pile 1, we have a moonstone pillar. Pile 2, we have a cherry agate pillar. And pile 3, we have a moss agate pillar. So because I'm leaving these somewhat open, unless it's like really important to you that you want a message about something specific, I would also on your end keep it open, just see what kind of message the cards are bringing, and see how it resonates with something going on in your life right now. If there's something really specific you want a message on, give it a try. I don't know on your end if you're that specific, if it will really apply, but you can give it a try if you have something specific in mind. Okay, let's jump in. Timestamps are in the description, so feel free to pause here if you need more time with the piles. But once you have aligned or felt drawn into the pile for you, head down to timestamps and descriptions, and I will see you in your readings. Hello, pile 1, my moonstone pile. Let's put your stone over to the side here. Okay, jumping in, I'm actually going to turn this oracle card over that was under your stone in just a minute. We're going to get a couple other oracle cards out first, and then we will get to this one in just a minute. So to start out, we are going to use some astrology cards to get sort of into the heart of what this is about, using the stars to guide us in terms of what we are talking about here. What is this mystery message centered around? Or not mystery message, but like time sensitive or important message that is coming to you from these cards. So we've got midheaven. The midheaven in astrology, if you were to have an astrology chart created for your time of birth, the midheaven, so an astrology chart sort of looks like a circle with a bunch of and within that circle, that's like the zodiac, and then there's a map of where all the different planets and signs of the zodiac are within that circle. And at the very top of the circle, if you were looking at it straight on, is the pinnacle of your chart, and it's called the midheaven, and it has a lot to do with our reputation, like our outer world reputation, our mastery. It can relate to career and standing or like position in life, but it can also just relate to certain things that you have a lot of integrity, responsibility, mastery, and focus in. So something going on around kind of your outer world positioning in the world. So let's get a few tea leaf cards to get some like pulse of what this is about. Dagger, fears, worries, tense situations. Cup, you should accept valid criticism. And last one doesn't want to come out. Here we go. And wheel. Indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. Okay. So putting these all together, it does feel like there's like more in, you know, like the message coming through is like, if you were to really, really sit down and think about where you're going in life, what your focuses are, what your big sort of aspirational goals are, and think 5 years into the future, 10 years into the future, think back from childhood up to this point to like, you know, what have you always wanted to do, or what's the trajectory that has landed you in this current moment. And then like channeling that foresight from looking back, being able to look forward in terms of like creating some long-term goals and some action plans around that would be a really good thing to do, because there may be something going on in terms of like where you are aspirationally. And it doesn't have to, you know, it can be career for some of you, and for others it can just be like what is that big thing you're reaching for in life. And for some of you that might be a relationship, that might be owning a house, it could be being happy, you know, like it doesn't have to be career, but for many of you this may have to do with career. Like what is that main aspirational thing that you're reaching for, or that you really desire in life, that's kind of rambling right now, that doesn't have a vision, that doesn't have something like a roadmap. And it's like if you were to sit down and really think this through, detach from it, think it through, look at things more objectively, look at the past, let that help you to look to the future, like what do you want? Making some plans, spending some time to find vision, to find what your aspiration even is. And if you do kind of know what that is, like what does that look like 5 and 10 years from now? And then this cup with you should accept valid criticism. I'm taking this more as is there someone in your life you can sit down with that can help you to see things a little more objectively, that you can bounce some ideas off of, and that will be really honest with you too, not just that like compassionate listening ear that's mirroring back to you, but someone you respect and someone you know that isn't going to BS you, that's going to give it to you straight, like, hey, I hear what you're saying, but like you need to really focus on this and this and this, or, you know, like whatever it is, like someone who's a straight shooter, you know. I think you need to find someone to give you a little bit of like a push, right? And spending some time doing this, you know, finding your vision, finding someone that will push you, will really do a lot to ease some underlying kind of anxiety you may be feeling in life right now due to just being a tumbleweed in the wind kind of feeling. It's like give that wheel a direction, right? Where is it going? Is it tuned up, right? Is it in good condition, and where is it going? That will really help you to find that focus and to find some action plans and to kind of give yourself a kick in the pants a little bit. Okay, so now let's get to the card that was under, and I love this. This is saying manifest. It's saying that like this is important right now. Part of why this is coming up is like there are things that I think have changed within you. Like maybe you've been doing a lot of inner work. That inner work is now ready to move, become, you know, it's like you've been building the will inwardly, and maybe it's made it feel like an aspiration or a goal or a vision for your life. is a little bit aimless because you haven't like moved on it, but maybe you have been kind of creating the architecture and, you know, the gathering the tools you need for something in your life, but now it's time to like give that a direction. It's like that wheel has come together inwardly now, and so now it's like you have certain resources and tools, I think, at your disposal is what this manifest is indicating. And so now it's time to give those tools a direction, give those tools some goals and some outer world hopes and dreams and maps and action plans, because the tools that you need to do something in a general sense have come together for you. So now it's like, okay, so now get specific, and what are you focusing those on? What's the direction for that? Where is this going in 5 to 10 years? What is the end goal here? And how do you work backwards from that to where you are now? And there's like a lot of manifesting potential around you, because it's like you have the tools and resources now to do something, to reach for something. So find that map, find that focus, find someone to give you a kick in the pants. Create some action plans. It's time to put all of that inner work that you've been doing into action externally now. Right, really cool. Okay, so we are going to do some tarot around this. I'm going to do just like 2 cards at a time with more specifically asked questions around this. So let me think about this for a second. What do you need to know about the fears and worries that you are potentially experiencing right now? Temperance. And 4 of Cups. Yeah, I think you've taken a lot of time to really contemplate, to really come into, to not just jump for aspirations or be impulsive about something you're inspiring for, but to actually like really contemplate inwardly of like, what actually makes me happy in terms of aspiration in life? Like, what am I reaching for and why? And it's sort of like you've done that important inner work. And so even though maybe you haven't felt like you've done anything with that, like it's all lived in your head and in your imagination and in your body, it's helped you to come into a certain alignment and inner knowing and trust and rightness within yourself. To it's sort of like, you know, the fears or worries you may have right now, or some tension you may feel within yourself right now, it's all worth it for the result you have arrived at in terms of getting really right within yourself. Because now, with that rightness within self, inwardly coming from an internal locus of control rather than doing what's expected of you or competing just to compete to get ahead because that's what society expects, but like coming from this place of like, what do I want though? And being right, it's giving you like you're now coming into this position of being able to really fluidly move life, to marry what you're doing in the world with who you are inside of you and what makes you happy and what motivates you and what is aligned for you. And so it just like makes, once you do start to give your wheel a focus and a destination, it's so much easier now. So like if you hadn't taken that time to really get right inwardly, that wheel may have set off in a wrong direction, or in a direction that had a lot of obstacles that you didn't have the resources to kind of handle and get yourself through. But it's like, basically this feels like saying it's okay that there are fears and worries there. They will disappear very quickly once you put things into action, because you're going to find yourself way more capable and obstacles way less present than you imagined, because there's just a rightness that you have taken the time to get to. Okay, let's get a couple cards around. I'm curious about this. Accept valid criticism. I'm reading it as finding someone that can give you a kick in the pants. But let's see what the cards might want to add to that. Ten of Cups. And Three of Wands. Yeah, this aligns with what I was sort of feeling, where it's like there are probably people around you that really love you and that see your potential, that see where you could go and what you're capable of. And so this criticism isn't coming from like frustration about frustration they feel in themselves about you, but it might be from frustration because they see what you could do that you're not doing, right? So it's coming from a loving place, not an annoyed with you place or an angry with you place. It's like, it is that thing of like, they see your potential and they just want you to, you know, work with your potential. So I feel like any criticism or kick in the pants types of energy you're getting from like people in your community or in your family, it's probably in your family likely, is coming from a place of like, they're not annoyed with you. They're not like, ugh, why can't they just get up off of the couch? I'm so sick of them not doing anything or whatever, you know, that kind of thing. It's like, can they not see what they're capable of? Like, they could do so much. Like, I just want them to find their success, to understand that what they do want to reach for is so closer within reach than they could comprehend. Like, they're just seeing that you're not understanding your capability and competence or something, and so they're just like, oh my gosh, like, I don't care, you know, like, I'm not annoyed with you, but I want you to feel happy, you know, I want you to have what you want in life, kind of thing. So that's where that criticism is coming from, or the kick in the pants is coming from. It's not like this thing of like, I'm so sick of you doing nothing or not going after what you love. It's yeah, more of like, I want you to succeed. I want you to be happy for you, you know, not for me, but for you. Okay. And then let's tap into this manifest. So this is, you know, this energy coming in to say that like, green lights ahead. The energy is so right for you to start taking action to, you know, put some energy into making plans and goals, and then taking some action steps. That manifesting energy is just so ripe for you. So let's get a little more information about that manifesting energy that's around you, the moon. You don't see it, and that's exactly why it's like other people see it, They're like, oh my gosh, this is so within your reach. Look at that woman climbing the ladder. They're like, this is totally within your reach. There's nothing in your way. You have the ladder, you have the thing it's leading you to, and there's something in you that's still, I think, in that Four of Cups a little bit, that's like down in the cave and contemplating and like, am I strong enough? And am I imagining things here? Am I capable? Is this going to be just so hard? Is it going to break my heart? Is it, all these things, all these fears and worries are getting in the way of you just, making the plan, looking at some goals down the road and like what is the end destination you want, not what's blocking you right now. Like, where do you want to be in 5 or 10 years? Not what's in your way through your own perception right now. It's like, get out of your head, right? Get out of your head and kind of detach and objectively ask, like, okay, so there is this thing that's come together in me. Generally, I've developed some resources and tools. And it's like, in 10 years or in 5 years, whatever makes sense to you, where do I want to be with that? And then work backwards, and that will kind of clear out the fog and help to kind of spur you into action and move you from imagination to reality. Start anchoring things in. Okay, and then we have Queen of Swords. You're totally ready. You have, your mind is sharp. You are nourished and rested in some way, this is indicating, and like, it's like ready to, I don't know, it's like own your competency, own your capabilities and stand strong, and I don't know, it's just like own the direction you want to go, own what it is you want to manifest, be clear and concise and direct, and think big for yourself, think directly. But yeah, this is just like, you're ready, everything's ready. It's just like getting out of your own way. Yeah, so I would expect, actually, I was sort of feeling when I was talking about that, accept valid criticism or the kick in the pants, I initially was feeling that like maybe you need to find someone to do that, but I think that you're going to start feeling that around you, like people pushing at you, right? And they're trying to push you out of this moon phase because they can see that like something so clear and within reach for you. And it's just like, as soon as you can kind of listen to those messages coming in and wake up with the pushing people are going to start doing, you'll start to wake up to like how precise and sharp and capable and nourished and strong you are, and just starting to kind of like, yeah, bam, 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 bam. Like, it's just this clear road ahead. Temperance and the Queen of Swords bookending these tarots is like, you have everything you need right now. The mind, the resources, the energy, the skills, whatever. It's like there's such a green light and clear road ahead. And it's just like, you just need to get out of this fog, right? But life is going to be kicking you out of it anyway. And I think the big message here, because you're going to be kicked out of, like, people are going to be pushing to kick you out of this, and you will find your capability and strength. I think the main message here is like, okay, but like, what is your long-term vision? Really take some time to look into the future and say, like, this is what I want 5 or 10 years from now. This is what I want the end goal to be, and work backward. Right? That's a really strong message coming through. Okay, to end this, let's get you an animal message and an affirmation. So we've got Penguin with Diamond Light Activation. Light activation and new energies are coming your way. Be open to receive and welcome them in. I feel like this is a shift from this Four of Cups of like contemplation, and the moon and the Four of Cups of like contemplation and what is it that I do want, and am I capable, am I strong enough, and what about this hurdle, or this potential hurt, it's like those things that are putting you in worry and anxiety. There's a shift coming. You're about to come into just like a very different energy that I feel like is this Queen of Swords temperance. Like you're about to like click into yourself with more direct, clear, active, and yet nourished energy. So this is indicating, which is a really beautiful message to come through from what we've seen, is like your energy is about to shift. So not only are other people going to be kind of pushing on you, something is about to turn on in you as well. Okay, and then your affirmation, flexibility. I am flexible and free to be me. Yeah, I like that. Free to be you is one message to me, like really owning who you are, what you want, coming from having really done some inner work to know who you are, what you want. But the flexibility, once you move that external of like, well, how does that actually apply in life? And can I keep an open mind so that instead of having like this really fixed energy that then can be fragile when things don't go exactly like you want, you're able to adapt. So it's like, yes, have that end goal plan and the roadmap. Those are all great to have, but stay flexible. Things don't always go according to plan. So yes, get that really clear, those clear goals, those clear maps and directions and focuses, but keep an open mind, because usually we get detours along the way. And sometimes we find in that detour that we get directed somewhere we hadn't thought of that's way better. And so it's just like the roadmap, the plan, the goal is something that is getting you going. But once you're going, stay flexible, because you might find new things that really add more to and change your direction slightly, that create pivots that are so much more beautiful than something you would have imagined on your own. But the main point is to get that goal to help you to get going, to get out of the door and off the ground kind of thing. Okay, I hope this resonated and was helpful and useful for this moment in your life. Wishing you all the luck with whatever this means to you, with whatever aspiration you're kind of toiling with. Yeah, I'm excited for you though. Like, yes, I can feel your energy a little of like a little bit of apprehension, but I can also see things are about to really shift in your life in a beautiful, exciting, adventurous way. So yeah, get to it. All right. If this did resonate, I always appreciate support with likes, shares, and subscribes, and always grateful for kind and thoughtful comments. And yeah, I wish you guys luck with the road ahead and a beautiful day wherever you are. And I hope to see you in future readings. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading with a message that is wanting to present itself to you right now specifically. So something that might be insightful, confirming, useful for this moment in your life or whenever you're drawn to this reading. So you guys picked the Cherry Agate, which I'm just going to put up to the side over here. I'm going to get to this card that was under your stone in just a minute. We're going to get a couple other oracle cards first. So we're going to start out with an astrology card to help use the guidance of the stars a little bit to figure out, like, what is this message about? What are we talking about here? What is this message you need oriented around, I guess you could say. Vesta with Hearth. So Vesta is an asteroid, goddess asteroid in astrology. I mean, it has her, it's named at, they use a lot of mythology, obviously, to name planets and asteroids and whatnot. So doubly, there's some mythology around this, goddess energy around this, but also it is an asteroid, literally, that astrology uses. So Vesta has a lot to do with tending to our inner fire. I know that this says hearth, and a lot of people will kind of associate Vesta with home and hearth. But the Vestal virgins were, they kept the flame in, or the hearth, or the flame in the, I don't know if it was like the Temple of Vesta or whatever it was called, always lit. And I associate that a lot with like keeping our inner fire stoked, our inner fire lit. I don't know if you've heard of the Celtic goddess Bridget. It feels very similar to me. Like, what lights you up from within? How do you find your inner source of light rather than chasing external things to keep you lit up, or chasing external things that keep you moving in life? Like, how do you find that inner flame to sustain you? What is it that keeps that inner sense of passion, inner sense of knowing, inner sense of creativity alive in yourself? Okay, so there's something coming through about that. And let's get, wow, a whole bunch of tea leaf. I think that's too many tea leaf cards. Okay, we're going to get a few tea leaf cards to add to this, which are kind of like little fortune cards. Weeping Willow, so family sorrow. Door, opportunities are waiting for you. And Dolphin. Financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past. Okay. Very interesting. I do feel, because there is that hearth element, even though like I tend to typically read that as like, keeping the hearth of our own, our body as a temple and keeping that hearth lit from within. Because family did come up here and there is that hearth aspect, there may be some sort of family things going on where it's like, you may feel a sense of like, is my family all right? Is something falling apart in my family? Or maybe there literally has been some kind of loss in your family. But because there's this financial thing, it may have to do with like financial issues more broadly in the family. Not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily have to be your own financial issues, but maybe you're concerned about, the finances of parents or all sorts of people in the family. Or there may be some financial, I don't feel tension here. I feel worry, I feel concern. I don't feel tension or conflict. It's like more of this, is everyone stable kind of thing. And you may be wearing out your own inner flame as you put too much worry on everybody else, right? Like you may be shouldering too much and too focused on the welfare of of your more broad family. It could even be like, you know, my aunt and uncle are struggling, or my cousin, you know, like you may be that person that really takes on a lot of family responsibility and takes on the burdens of family. And I feel like what's coming through here is sort of like, for some of you, I do feel the sun is coming up, like this is some kind of worry that's disappearing, but I feel like the more broad message here is like, it isn't your responsibility. It's noble, it's beautiful, it's amazing that you are so caring, or that you want everyone to feel stable, but everyone has their own journey, right? And you can't control other people's journeys. That can be a really tough lesson to learn when it comes to loved ones, that it's beautiful to worry and want to help and want to support others, but sometimes what they really need is to be on their journey and to learn the lessons they're learning, right? And so I think something coming through here is saying, like, to keep your fire lit, to be able to even be that person that can nourish and be supportive to others, you need to let people deal with their issues more than you taking on their issues. It's really like, I just get this sense that it's like stressing your fire out, stressing your inner source out, right? Your inner source of energy, of passion, of livelihood out. You need to let go a little. I do see here that better days are coming in that, but regardless, your parents' journey is not your journey. If you're a millionaire and you can support your parents without flinching and in a way where they're not just sort of abusing that, great. I don't feel like that's the story coming through here, but I'm not saying to not help. I'm just saying that, like, the amount you're helping and the amount of focus is detracting from your source, right? If you have the resources to give very easily in it, then it's not taxing you. So there's something going on here that's taxing you in a way that's not for you. That's not your problem or responsibility. It doesn't mean that you can't have empathy and sympathy and listen and be supportive, but it's not for you to shoulder either, right? There's something too wearing happening in that way. So twofold, there is a message coming through that, like, brighter days are coming in general in that, but maybe it's like you need to let go a little to even see that coming, right? To even see that there is some opportunity waiting for you and that there are brighter days on the horizon. It's like almost part of your journey and your test is to let go a little and allow people to have their journeys, and then all of a sudden, like, life kind of shifts. You start to feel your energy light back up. You start to see opportunities that are for you, that journeys that you are supposed to be attending to, that are part of your curriculum in this life, right? Yeah, and so that's when these good ones come through. You know, there's a door, there's an opportunity waiting for you, financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past. It's like, I feel just this do-gooder energy in you, and it's like, it's time for you to receive. It's time for you to get the leg up. It's time for you to have some wins, to be given attention to be celebrated, to, you know, like, it's time for you. It's basically what's coming through here. And this isn't about being selfish. It's about finding that balance of active and receptive. And sometimes you need to receive things instead of always giving, always giving, always giving. And I think as soon as you kind of like open to being receptive to things, it's like this cornucopia of opportunities and gains suddenly floods in. It's like there's been this bottleneck of really beautiful things waiting to come to you, but you've just been giving and giving and giving. So it's like nothing can come through your door because you're always shoving stuff out of the door. But as soon as you can kind of pull back and be like, okay, like, what about me now? And just getting back in touch with your fire, you can hold that door open without shoving stuff out of it. And all of a sudden this flood of stuff comes in that's so beautiful. And so I think part of you even connecting back in with your fire is that, like, recognizing that you deserve to receive too, you know, that like sometimes people have to get over guilt of being fortunate when there are other people that aren't as fortunate around them. It's like, you know, it's just like sometimes, you know, there is this thing in astrology called like the lots, like the lot of fortune and the lot of spirit. And it is sort of those things of like, sometimes you do draw lots and sometimes you're luckier than others. And it's just, you know, a luck of the draw. But there's something coming with that where it's like the lot you're drawing is about to shift, but you need to get right. You need to allow that lot to come in, you know. You're so focused on other people's lots in life that you're not seeing a beautiful lot that's trying to come in for you, right? Okay, so let's see what your other oracle card was. The Revolutionary. Very interesting. Wow, I mean, that's a very different energy coming through. I have to feel into like how that applies to everything we've said, or if this is just like more of the story beyond what we've said. Yeah, let's get some tarot cards about that. I feel like at this point I'm gonna just be kind of making, you know, I don't like when I get to a point where I'm just sort of like making some assumptions, because I like to go with like having deep sensations and feelings and impressions about things, instead of just being like, oh, here's a picture and that could mean this or this. I usually have like something deeper happening, so I don't have that yet with the Revolutionary, so we're gonna get some cards. Okay, so we have Two of Wands, which is like the same as the door. I often see Two of Wands as like the portal opening, a new portal, a new threshold. Revolutionary, maybe. Oh, okay. Look at that torch, and this is kind of like a torch too. When you do start to give a little bit more attention to feeding your source, your passion, your center, what lights you up, what you are about, there's a revolutionary under there. There's someone who does things differently. You're not a status quo person. And I think something's about to really, as soon as you kind of like shift into receptivity, shift into, okay, I need to attend to my lot in life for a minute instead of being so concerned by other people's lot in life, especially, you know, family, different family members' lots right now, you know, because lots can shift. Our lots in life can shift. So instead of being so concerned about the current lot in life of certain family, what is my actual lot right now, and how do I actually need to attend to that as well? And it's like something just opens up here once you kind of shift into that. Okay, and Six of Swords, yes. something shifts in you, something opens up, and something helps you to move to sunnier shores. And I do feel like this, it's such a weird message because so much of it's like, you can't take on other people's lots. Some people have to go through their own journeys. But it's like, and you're like, there's a beautiful lot, there's a beautiful cornucopia and new energy coming in for you, and adventure coming in for you. And you have to attend to your lot first, your fire, your source first, to really see that. But it's like, but at the same time, the general lot around that family sorrow is shifting too. So it's like, even though I'm saying it's not for you to worry about, I'm also saying that things are also going to get better, even though you're not supposed to worry about it so much. So it's like a double positive message, like something beautiful is coming in for you, but something's lightening up for the struggles you've been feeling for others that weren't, that aren't yours to take on. But I get it when it comes to family, it's, especially if you're a very empathetic person or a tight-knit with your family, of course, your family's struggles are your own. But something is saying it's time for you to attend to your lot, and at the same time, the lot around the things that have been difficult are getting better anyway, kind of thing. So, but those are related, like maybe, I don't know, I keep feeling this thing of like, you need to focus on you and your stuff is going to happen and then things will get better for your family, but they might be happening simultaneously. Like if things lighten up for your family, it's easier for you to, start paying attention to what your lot is. So for some of you, it might be kind of that direct correlation, but for others there may be this almost like part of your test is you need to acknowledge what you're not attending to in your life that you should be, and then as you attend to that, things naturally get better anyway. Okay. But yeah, more beautiful, like you are moving to totally different shores. A different portal is opening up. But you need to work on your energy, right? You need to work on being able to receive, knowing what is lighting you up, getting back into alignment with yourself and your desires. Okay, so let's see. Let's find out more about this opportunity that's coming. What is this portal? Knight of Wands and Eight of Wands. Well, it's coming very quickly. I can tell you that. I don't feel like I have a lot of more information about what it is that's coming, what door is opening, what opportunity is coming, but it is coming fast and it will have you very excited and very eager. Like your light is fully, it's like you start to work on like getting back into your center, your source, what keeps that fire inside of you lit. And then all of a sudden it's like, not only is there this little flame that's lit inside, but something just like this bonfire explodes and it's like off to the races, and you're just, things are happening fast. You're feeling fast and eager, passionate, excited. There's like a big journey that feels fun. It feels exciting. It feels beautiful. And then I can't help but like, look at this dolphin too, that just like, I don't know, just harmonious at the same time. And dolphins do have like that healing energy, so something's like healed. And so let's find something in terms of this dolphin card, financial gain, coming from something from the past. What is that thing from the past? So what are we tapping into? It's like good karma coming to you, right? But I don't think the karma is around taking on other people's lots too much or being overly concerned with their lot. This is like something you did in the world or that you did to better yourself. And so it's like, what is that? What is this about? Financial gain, something from your past. Whoops. 9 of Wands and Queen of Coins. This is something you have already been on a journey with. You have a lot of wisdom, experiential wisdom around something that you may have perceived in the journey to gain that wisdom as feeling like a struggle, feeling like in the end you didn't get anywhere, right? But this is saying there was just like a delay. The first journey was like your schooling, and now this journey is kind of the same theme, and it's using the wisdom you gained, but it's now about gaining the rewards instead of the schooling of it. Now using that wisdom for gain. Instead of going through a journey to gain the wisdom, you now repeat that journey in a different way, but use your wisdom for this journey's more about gain. The last journey was about developing a certain wisdom, a certain skill, a certain kind of schooling, right? But now you get to redo the journey. I mean, it will take on a different form, but it's like around the same theme. But this time you get to use it to beautify your life, to amplify your life, especially materially. Really, I mean, great news, right? Okay, to end this, we're going to get an animal message and then an affirmation card. See, we've got kangaroo, courage. You are being tested. Have faith and stand in your truth. And I feel like that tested is what we talked about with like the family stuff, or being really concerned about other people's lot in life. Like you need to be the support system for everyone that you love. And it's like sometimes you have to have the courage to let people deal with their lot. Sometimes it doesn't mean you disappear from them. It doesn't mean you can't be supportive in certain ways, but it's also the courage to recognize that like this is their journey though. This isn't my journey. This is something they are learning for their curriculum in this lifetime. And I have to have the courage, even though I love them and I know I can take things on for them. You sometimes because that eases some of the pain and whatnot, but like sometimes you have to have the courage to let people walk through their own fires. And I feel like that's what this is saying. It's interesting because you are being tested. Have faith and stand in your truth. I don't know why I read that as fire, stand in your fire. And so when I mistakenly was like side glancing at that and read it wrong, I was like, oh, have faith and let them stand in their own fire. And so like that's still resonating to me, like let people stand in their fires, right? You don't have to abandon them in it, but it's not your fire to stand in, is sort of what's coming through. And sometimes what the courage is allowing people to develop their character and strength by going through their own fires, right? I mean, there's obviously, I'm not trying to say like, don't help people, especially when you have resources that aren't a drain on you. But it's like, where is that switch between like where you're over tapping your resources and letting people take advantage of you, or being too involved when it's not necessary? That's what I'm talking about. Like obviously there's I'm not talking about like, say you're single mother who's elderly, falls and breaks something. It's like, well, have fun dealing with that. Like, you know, obviously those are types of things that need support, right? I'm not talking about that kind of stuff, but there's something that is like too much of your resources being drawn, or too much of your energy is being spent where it's not yours though. So I'm not talking about those things where it's like, obviously you should step in and be a support. I'm talking about things that aren't yours to deal with. Even if it feels like yours because it's family, right? But sometimes we have to have the courage to let family walk through their fires. Okay. Your, what is this called? Affirmation comes from the crystal orpiment, which is success. I am successful in all that I do. I love that in relation to these opportunities and financial gain. And then this saying, like, you're about, like, I feel like you're going on this new journey, but with a new wisdom that now you can apply that wisdom instead of going through a journey that was about gaining wisdom. And so it's like, this journey is about success. Using last journey's wisdom for this journey to have success, and especially financially. Okay, that's where I'm going to leave you guys. I hope this resonated. I definitely feel like I've had this pile in the past in my life, so I resonate strongly, even though it's not necessarily what I feel like is coming up for me. And like, I feel like I've done this before in a way. Like, there are things that wouldn't apply to what I'm feeling about how it resonates with me, but there are some similar things in this reading where I'm like, I get that's all I'll say. It's your journey to take, right? Not mine to be concerned with. So that said, I do feel excited for you, but I do also feel that kind of like sometimes it's hard to step back from things. But brighter days ahead in general, all around. So that is such great news. It's beautiful. I'm excited for what it's about to come here. And obviously this message was coming through to you because you really needed it in some way. So I do hope it resonated. Hopefully it was either confirming or insightful or whatever was good for you. If so, I always appreciate support, likes, shares, and subscribes. Always grateful for kind and thoughtful comments as well. And good luck with all that is coming in. Just go for it, really. All right, see you guys in future readings. Hello, my beautiful pile 3, my moss agate pile. I'm just going to put your stone up in this corner for you. Okay, so the card that was under your stone I'm going to get to in just a minute. We are first going to do a couple of other oracle cards. We're going to start with an astrology oracle card, kind of tapping the stars to sort of get the top level, whatever this kind of what you need to know right now message is oriented around. It may not give us like a lot of detail, but it gives us sort of an orientation is my sense of this card. Okay. The Ascendant. So this has a lot to do with getting back to you, getting back into your energy, getting back into your particular quality of passion and perspective, and what gives you drive and motivation in life. Something about this is what this message is going to be oriented around. even just getting back into like owning who you are, loving who you are, finding a sense of like love for yourself. Yeah, so let's do some tea leaves though and get a little bit more insight into what this message like more concretely relates to in terms of your sense of self and direction. Let's see. That's 4. That's one more than I have been doing, but they kind of flew out. So let's just do it. Table, hard work ahead. Okay. Well, great worry over nothing. Vulture, depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. Okay. Well, that feels very relevant to the whale. And then bell, announcement, and that feels more relevant to the heart. So these feel like two different kind of messages in a way. These feels like two different messages that are equally affecting like your energy and motivation in life. It's like I feel like you're waiting for something, waiting for some kind of message, some kind of opening, some kind of, you know, and we have this table with hard work ahead. So for some of you, like maybe you are interviewing for jobs or waiting for a job offer, or you're waiting for some kind of like contract to be signed, some new project to start, something that's like, there's an anticipation, I feel like here, of like, yeah, it's coming, that my energy needs to be directed and focused somewhere, but we're waiting for that green light, right? For that announcement or the green light, the starting, the starting bell or whatever it is. So there could be, because we're talking about the ascendant, just like some impatience being felt of like, what am I supposed to do with this energy? There's this anticipation, like it feels like frustration to me. Like, it's tight. Like there's so much to do, or there's so much I want to do, or there's so much I could do, right? And like waiting for that opening to happen, message to come, contract to sign, project to start, whatever it is. There's like, I do feel some frustration here. And then equally, I feel like why there is a delay is a lot of your energy might be expended into some kind of like great worry over something that you're making into a whale of an issue. And it's like depleting your fire, it's depleting your attention, it's depleting, you know, your personal resources, because you're deep into worrying about something. And then with the vulture, I have a feeling about this. So the vulture, it says depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. And so you may be stuck in this moment with like a lot of rumination over something. You know, is what they said, did that mean this? Or did I do a good job on that? Or this kind of tense moment, what did that mean? Or this fight between that person and that person that then like I feel in the middle. You know, what's going on? Like, it feels like there's just something that's happened, some kind of event that's happened where there are maybe some tensions going on, but there isn't clarity around it. And that's where the whale is, where it's like you're taking that unclarity, and there can be a lot of reasons why we don't have clarity around contentions going on in our lives, right? Because, you know, you may be on the periphery of things or right in the middle of it. It doesn't matter, but there are sometimes reasons why it takes time to really find the right perspective and know how to proceed from a well-informed place. But the well is indicating that, like, whatever you are picking at and whatever you are going deep with, it's much lighter than you think. And so I feel like this message is coming through to say, like, it's taking up way too many of your resources, your personal energy, your ability to focus on what lights you up, your ability to get things done in life. And so it's sort of good that the green light hasn't happened with this thing that pertains to like a lot of work ahead. Because it's like you don't actually have, even though there's like frustration and anticipation, it's like, in some way, I think you're also being protected because it's like you don't have the resources right now because they're really directed on this like perception that you're picking apart. Yeah. Okay. So let's get this last oracle card, and it says the universe. And I can't help but look at this and all the strings, like a puppet master above things, and like the fates, you know, when I think of like strings being pulled and cut, I think of the three fates. So it's like, yeah, something's like divinely being orchestrated. I think there's some shifts going on in your life. And I think actually whatever this is to you, that might just be this like somewhat of a false energy where there's some contention you're going deep with and picking apart. It's almost like you've purposely been put into some kind of matrix or liminal space. That's just like, it's just a tool. It's like not actually I don't know how to explain what's coming through. It's so weird. It's sort of like, you know, when I'm sure you've seen in movies, I don't have kids, so I can't say that I know this, but I've seen friends do it, and obviously seen it on like in film and stuff, like your kids are being loud and you're frustrated with them. And it's like, you know that you're about to tell them that, I'm just going to make up a scenario here now that I'm getting into this. So you know that you're about to tell them that you're going to take them to, like, say it's summer break, and you have like 3 kids close in age at home, and they're just like at each other's throats or just like loud in the house, I guess. And you're just like, I just need to get a few things done, but little do they know I'm about to tell them that we're gonna go to an amusement park in like an hour. They don't know that. They're just frustrated. They're just getting into things because they're bored, but I need to it's like there's something I'm needing to do, so I'm gonna send them, just like, go outside, you know, like, I just can't see you right now, like, you're in my way, just go outside, go in the yard and play. And so they go in the yard and play, and it's like, I'm coming from the kids' perspective now, so this is sort of where I feel you are. It's like you've been sent into the yard to play, but there's something frustrating going on, so you're like picking at each other with the siblings. It's just like in each other's space and antagonizing each other, and it's just like this liminal space, even though it feels so frustrating in the moment, and like, why are they like that, you know, and just like getting into these stupid things, but it's because you're bored and you're being sent into this liminal space, and it's frustrating to be there. And kids can sense when something's about to happen. And so even though it may not be conscious, it's like you sense something's coming. And so that adds to the frustration. And so then that adds to this antagonistic energy coming through. Because I feel like that's sort of where you are. You're in this like timeout, liminal space that's like a little bit antagonistic, but it's not real. It's like whatever's happening in this space is just this holding area, and it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to end up meaning anything, because once the mom says, okay, come in, I have something to say, we're going to Six Flags now, go get, your sunblock and your hats and whatever. And everything that happened in that liminal space now means nothing, right? Because you're just like, oh my gosh, like think of being a kid, like right now, that sounds awful to me as an adult, but as a child, I was like, what? That's so exciting, and so it's like all of a sudden, all of that stuff that happened out there means nothing. And so it's like I'm reading the universe as mom, and it's like I'm trying to get some stuff done, so I'm sorry I have to put you in this liminal space, but I'm orchestrating this, right? And so from your perspective, or from your perception of things are touchy, things are frustrating. But little do you know this announcement that's about to come because of what I'm orchestrating as universe's mom here. And it's really going to light you up, and it's really going to give you this new sense of like motivation, energy, direction. And now, since I'm speaking to likely, I hope mostly adults here, it would be really weird to me if a child was watching this, but whatever. We have hard work ahead. So as an adult, maybe all of a sudden, maybe it's not that something's coming, like you're waiting for a job or a project, but you sense something's about to shift, and you're just kind of like, peckish about it, getting a little like, I need to move the ball forward. So I can tell something's about to shift, and I'm just like, meh. Sorry. Sometimes I use sound effects rather than words, but that's what came through, like, meh. But whatever this thing that's about to come through that's exciting to you is like more work related, but in a way that like excites you, that gives you a sense of purpose, that gives you where you have motivation towards that. Yes, there's hard work with whatever is coming, whatever is about to open to you or be announced to you. But it's something that's thrilling, right? Just like the amusement park analogy. It's like something that feels exciting and like, oh, that's such a cool project that just landed on my desk. Or, wow, I just got this promotion out of nowhere. Or, whoa, I just got so-and-so just offered me this crazy job. Something like that. So I'm feeling like you're in this weird liminal space or matrix that's not really real. And within that, it's like there's like antagonistic and contentious energy. But very soon, it's just like not even like whatever you're picking apart and ruminating over and fighting about right now is just like none of it's going to matter soon. Yeah. So, all right. That is a really strange, like I've never had a message like that. But whatever. Whatever comes is what comes, right? That's a very interesting. I'm very fascinated in the comments how this resonates with, those of you who've come to this file. Because I don't really know what that means in real life, what I've talked about here. But yeah, you were drawn to this file for some reason. So I'm fascinated. Okay, we're going to do some tarot. I have been asking, like doing 2 cards at a time, asking like more specific questions. But I feel like we have a somewhat, I wouldn't say concrete story of what's happening right now. And I don't know. I'm just more interested in this announcement, in what is to come, in, well, I will ask, okay, what is something the cards can help reveal that while you are in this weird liminal timeout space that's a little bit contentious, like what is something to get you over the hump of that, to calm some worries? Obviously, like worry came up I think twice, so like that feels prominent as worry. Like what is something the cards can bring to you to help in this moment calm worries, beyond me just saying like soon it won't matter, but that sometimes doesn't mean anything when we're in it. so being in it, feeling that worry, what's something the cards can help you with right now around some worry? 7 of Swords. So yeah, there feels like there's deception, feels like there's sneakiness or secrets or deception going on. So like the analogy of being tossed out into the yard with your siblings, like it feels like it's like the oldest sibling or the sibling older than you is like playing little pranks on you that you're not understanding, because you're not like old enough and wise enough to get like what they're doing, right? And they're like purposely just like messing with you, but in like kind of a secret way where you don't really get that they are, but it's like frustrating you. Obviously that's a metaphor, but that feels like that, like someone's bored, so they're like messing with you or something, or maybe you're the one doing that to someone else, or just in general. It doesn't have to be that, but there does feel like there's kind of some energy of being sort of deceived in some way. And King of Cups. So because we were asking for guidance around this, hold on, sorry, I had this notification pop up. Okay, so King of Cups, and because we're asking for guidance around the worry, this feels like the emotions you're feeling are from a place of integrity. So it's like really trust your strength. Trust what you think you're seeing is real, right? Trust that the deception you're perceiving, it's like you are seeing what you're seeing. Like it's just like trust yourself. Your older brother is messing with you. You're not just experiencing these random accidents. Like your older brother is messing with you in that metaphor, right? So it's like whatever you feel your intuition is telling you, you can trust it. Which is an interesting message to come through in terms of feeling that sense of like pretty soon you won't really care about what's been happening in this weird liminal space that's sort of contentious. And yet the guidance from the cards is saying that like, well, yeah, but you are seeing something that accurately that is sort of deceptive. And so pulling this into the realm of like real life and adults, it's like whatever does come that's sort of announced, it's going to redirect your energy. So like whatever you are seeing that you're supposed to trust your intuition, like, and I think you already do, because the King of Cups is a really strong card of like, no, I see you. I see what this is. I see what's going on here. Whatever the new announcement is just like, you're going to be able to just like move away from that. It's like you've seen through something. You've seen through that trick. You're done with it, right? Whatever that trick is, It's like, I see through it. I've got your number. I don't need it anymore. And so the great worry over nothing is just like whatever is about to come, it's just going to take you through a door where you're leaving that behind, and it won't be something that you put energy into anymore. So it's not necessarily that it doesn't mean anything and it's all false and it's not real. I do think it's real, but I think whatever's coming is just going to like not matter to, like, you're just going to be going, the ascendant can be, when things cross our ascendant, can take us in new directions. Like, you're going in a new direction anyway. And so once that direction is announced to you, it's just like you're kind of leaving that behind. You've seen through it. Now you're just like, whatever, do you? I'm going this way kind of thing. Okay, so now let's get to the fun stuff. We're going to do 4 cards for you guys on whatever the cards can tell us about the announcement. I'm sure it can't tell us a lot. Just like in my analogy, like the mom really specifically doesn't want the kids to know about Six Flags yet because they're already sort of wound up, and if she told them that and then they had to still wait, it would be that much worse. But whatever the cards can show us about what this thing coming is. Might not tell us what it is, but it might say like how it affects us. So victory will be coming with it. Sort of your artistry, an ability to put your artistry into action wherever you're going. It's where you can have great success. Where you feel seen, where you feel nourished, where you feel your cup is filled up. Or being involved with whatever comes really fills you up. And something you have invested in. You've already invested in something here. So that might be a clue for some of you. There's something you've already been waiting for and putting energy and time and care into, that's kind of coming into better fruition, or that's about to like take you somewhere actually. Yeah, interesting. Okay, to end this, we're going to get an animal message and an affirmation for you guys. Ooh. Let's take the top one that fell. So we've got frog. Stepping into your power. Don't take a back seat in your story. It's time to step up. And yeah, we see 6 of Wands, Knight of Cups feels very much so like that. Time to like assertively put your heart into the world and to believe in your ability to be successful and to shine. It's time to kind of claim that and be in it. I like that. And then an affirmation for you guys. Preunite with trust. I trust myself in the divine flow of the universe. Beautiful. Okay, that is where I'm going to leave you guys. I hope this resonated. I hope it brought some, this message is meant to be somewhat timely, really pertaining to something going on right now. So I hope it brought either some confirmation or insight, whatever this means to you. Hopefully it's useful in some way. Okay, if so, I always appreciate support, likes, shares, subscribes. Always grateful for kind and thoughtful comments, and good luck with whatever's coming. It just feels so exciting. So whatever weirdness is around you right now, just like know it's just not gonna matter to you soon. Not that it doesn't mean anything and you shouldn't care about it and stand up for yourself or whatever, or like trust yourself, but some redirect is coming, some announcements coming where it's just like that's going to be the least of your concerns anymore because something so exciting is happening. So I hope that's at least some something to tide you over while you're waiting for whatever is coming. Which I don't know, should we roll a dice? Like, how soon is this, right? I don't want you guys feeling like, oh, is this 2 years away? Is it a week away? Like, what's going on here? There's no way this is 2 years away. I feel like this is a matter of weeks. So let's roll. So this is a 12-sided dice. So 12 weeks would be the maximum, which is 3 months. So that would be the maximum. But let's see how many weeks. It's probably a little different for each of you, but like, what's the average amount of weeks for the viewers coming in here? 12, so 3 months would be the average. Okay. All right. I know that is a little bit to wait or to be in this weird liminal place. But that is an average. It's not for everyone. So if you feel like this is something that's going to shift for you sooner, it probably is. But all right. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. Good luck with this journey. I'm really excited for what feels like just something big and beautiful coming that's really shifting directions in your life for you. All right. I will see you guys in future readings.